SKOCH Star of India Award. Former Attorney General of India, Mr. Soli J. Sorabjee. Late Mr. Soli Jahangir Sorabjee is amongst those few jurists endowed with great qualities of head and heart, who played many parts and was considered a legend. He was one of the all-time greats both as a lawyer and a man. In 1971, he was designated as the senior advocate of the Bombay High Court, served as Solicitor General of India from 1977 to 1980, and served as Attorney General of India from 1989 to 1990, and once again from 1998 to 2004. He was the only person to have held the office of the Attorney General of India for 2 terms. He was a renowned human rights lawyer appointed by the United Nations as a special rapporteur for Nigeria and later as chairman of the UN Subcommission on the Promotion and Protection of Human Rights from 1998 to 2004. He was a champion of freedom of speech and expression and defended freedom of press. For about 60 years, Sorabjee helped in building brick by brick the edifice of India's constitutional law and the administrative law. A great round of applause for him.
Mrs. Sorabjee, Soli ji, to my mind, stood for freedom of speech and human rights. From a grateful civil society, this is a humble token of our affection. He left us early, at a time perhaps his services were needed the most, his voice was needed the most. And I hope that you accept this award on his behalf.
Thank you very much. Mr. Samir Kocherji, Dr. Gursharan Dhanjal, Justice Venkat Chalaya, Justice Deepak Mishra, Fali and Sudesh. My family and I, my children and I, are extremely thankful to you for this award. And we do appreciate that you have given this award to him as a special one. Justice Venkatachalaya and Justice Deepak Mishra are also being awarded today, and Soli must be smiling from where he is to know that he is in such distinguished company as Justice Venkatachalaya and Justice Deepak Mishra. He admired both these judges and respected them. And Justice Venkatachalaya, I must tell you that sometimes when Soli came home, he would talk about the erudition in your judgments and was most appreciative. Justice Deepak Mishra was a good friend to Soli, and the two of them went together to Nagpur for some award which the Parsi community was giving them. Soli was always fond of the English language, and Justice Deepak Mishra, I think, was also very fond of the English language and liked to quote literature from there. Soli remembered that. And we had many instances where Soli liked to talk about the various judges. Soli was an extremely good mimic, and he could mimic the judges in the court. He came home and one would think that this was part of the court proceedings that he was relating because he was so good at mimicking. He was extremely good also at mimicking lawyers, and many times he'd catch them on the wrong foot. His human rights and freedom of speech were two angles where he would never compromise. He would always be fighting for human rights and freedom of speech. And whenever he found that some instance had happened where a person was deprived of human rights and freedom of speech, he would offer his services pro bono so that something could be done for them. Again, when lawyers came to him for advice, he would tell them frankly that law was not a business and they should take their profession seriously and not think of only accumulating fees. So these were some of the things that I would like to mention about Soli. Where he is just now, he must be smiling at the company that has gathered here today to honor him. And I'm sure, I hope and pray that God has accepted the services that he rendered here whilst he was on earth. Thank you very much.